Hi, we're here at the Church of Pergamum, one of the 7 churches of Revelation. This is the church where Jesus said they were doing quite well, considering this is where Satan lived. They believe that Satan lived either here in this temple, which is the temple, well, it was the temple to Hadrian, which would be after John would have written this, but at this site, or the temple to Zeus, or the temple to Athena. There was also a healing center here, and they believe maybe that was the seat of Satan because of the snake representing medicine and Satan being connected with the serpent. These are the ruins of the city of Thyatira, and Thyatira was a city and church that was known for its charity and its exhibition of the gifts of the Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit. It also is the place where Lydia, the seller of purple, was from and did her good works. Jesus said that he was quite pleased with Thyatira, except for the fact they didn't speak out against sin. And a really reminder for us that not only are we to do the right things, but we also need to speak against those things which would be against the heart of God. But it's just an interesting town, a working class town, and we have a lot more that we want to see and show you today. One of the other 7 churches in the book of Revelation, this is the church that was in Smyrna, and this is the Agora, or the marketplace of Smyrna. And it was a 3-story marketplace, which was very unique amongst Roman architecture. The church in Smyrna was a very poor church and a suffering church. It was here that Polycarp was martyred, and it was a place that experienced a lot of suffering. This is one of the 7 churches of Revelation. This is the Church of Philadelphia. These ruins are actually from the Church of St. John. Very little has been excavated here. The Church of Philadelphia had very little, but were very faithful and committed and made their impact here in this town. And hopefully someday more of it can be excavated. The site of the ancient church of Laodicea. As you can see, this church is just now being excavated, and right behind me is a baptistry that they found in just the last couple of months. Jesus says through the Apostle John that Laodicea was the church that was lukewarm. And what's so interesting is that the city of Laodicea lies to the edge of the mountains where Colossae is, and the water there was icy cold. And over to this side is Hierapolis, just a few miles away, where the thermal hot springs made the water very hot. Laodicea was known as the city of lukewarm or bad water. And so it was most appropriate that John used that description when he described them as a lukewarm church. Of course, the point in Laodicea is that we not be lukewarm, but that we be very fervent in our lives, in our spiritual life, and that we really do everything we can to grow in our relationship with God and be all He would have us to be. This is the ancient city of Sardis, and behind me are the Roman baths. And Sardis in the book of Revelation is a church that Jesus really has nothing good to say about. They were a church that were pretty faithless. They counted on themselves rather than depending on the Lord. Jesus did say there were a few that were faithful, and to those who were faithful, that He would be with them to the very end. I hope that's true for all of us. Good morning. Today we're at Ephesus, and it's going to be a full day of activity, and I'll tell you all more about it next week. We'll see you then.